What's going on, LubeTube? John Grows here. How the hell are you doing? What's going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers. Welcome. If you have any questions, leave some comments down in the comment section. You know what I mean? I also want to thank all the people that are using my code at Coastal Mary Siege, John Grows, all one word. It'll save you 20% off your order. Thank you. Okay, this channel is for new growers. You know what I mean? Try to help new growers not make the same mistakes I've made. And, you know, today's video is going to be useless shit that you really don't need to buy. Okay, if you go to your local hydroponic store, you know, if they got a legitimate store, you know what I mean? There's going to be people there that'll probably tell you, you don't need that. But of course, we have this thing called Amazon, and there's no person at the Amazon store that can say, you probably don't need that, and you end up buying it. Well, I and a few other people on the LubeTube are here to try to make sure that, you know, you don't buy shit you really don't need, because there is a lot of shit that you don't need to buy that's on the Amazons. No. But one of the things that we're going to talk about that you don't need to buy, right, are these things. What the hell? T&B Naturals, I think. Yeah, T&B Naturals. You don't need this. No. No. Also that goes in with that is the mushroom bags. Look, if you guys are using a regular Mars Hydro light, we'll say like between 2, 5, 6, 7, you know what I mean? 700 watt lights. You know what I'm saying? You don't need CO2. If you live in an apartment or a house, you've got other people living with you, whether you're girlfriend, wife, boyfriend, whatever, you've got kids, and if you have animals in the house breathing CO2, you really don't need this, okay? The only time that you really, from my understanding, is you need CO2 is if you're pushing like 1200 par throughout the whole tent. So you're probably looking at like 1,000 watt light. LEDs, so I'm talking about LEDs. Yeah, you're looking at probably like 1,000 watt light that's pushing like 1200 par throughout the whole tent. That's when you need CO2. And when you put CO2 in your tent and you're venting out your tent, right, just open up a window and throw money out of it. Okay, I was having this conversation a few weeks ago with Beard, Cannabeard. Shout out to Cannabeard, by the way. If you don't know who Cannabeard is, go look him up. He's like, you know, me in a way. He doesn't really have a tutorial. He just shows what he's doing, and then you can go follow off of his channel. You know what I mean? Same thing, I guess, with me. But yeah, if you're venting your tent and you're putting CO2, these mushroom bags or that stupid 2-liter bottle, you're just throwing money out the window, because the CO2 isn't staying in your tent if you're circulating air through it. So if you're a new grower and you're looking at everybody with these bags, if you're not pushing serious amounts of par, and I might add that even if you were pushing out like 1200, you definitely wouldn't want to use those bags. You would go towards like having a system that was watching your CO2 levels in your tent and using a tank to push CO2 into your grow tent. But you're not, I mean, I don't know about you, but I know for me, I'm not pushing that kind of par, so I don't even have to bother with that shit. You're still going to get some danky buds, you know what I mean? Hell yeah, you're still going to get danky buds, you know, without the CO2 bags. You don't need those, okay? So unless you're putting some serious par, You don't need those bags or those 2 liters. That was the mien. Being a bad mien. The next thing we're going to talk about, which is another gimmick, to me, is under canopy lighting. Yay! Now, what sense does this make? You trim all your buds. Literally, 3/4 of the bottom of the plant is gone because you want to have most of the weight in the top part of the cola. You don't even have shit for any under canopy. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. Don't invest in that. Your main light is the one that you have hanging on the top of your tent. You don't need any of that other bullshit. Okay? Waste of money. In fact, if you notice, to me, again, watching on the lube tube and watching everywhere else, I don't really see anybody pushing the under canopy lighting anymore. I think it's a waste of money. Don't waste your money on that shit. Most of your buds that you trim, that you're supposedly putting the under, are gone. You trim them down. Because you know you want to have the good stuff up the top. Yes. Hell yeah. So it's another waste of money. Don't spend your money on that shit. Say no to that. Say no to the mushroom bags. No. No. If you have any other things you want to talk about in regards to what's a waste of money, leave some comments down in the comments section. Hell yeah, so we can get into this. So we can help each other grow some good product, some good dang product, and hell yeah, create our own medicine. Like I said, leave some comments down in the comment section and we'll get into this. Whatever you guys want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? But that's my 2 things for today. Useless shit you do not need in your grow. Save your money. Get better buds. Peace!